If you don't care about Easter, happy Tomb Sweeping Day. And if you don't care about Tomb Sweeping Day, I don't know what's up. I don't know what you're into, but I hope it's happy. This is Ho Ho Hong Kong. I am Andy Curtin, and I am coming at you solo right now. Why is that? How has this happened? What has happened to Vivek McDonald's? So, long story short, we had an amazing interview scheduled for this week, and unfortunately, the guest had a death in his family and just had to pull out last minute, and we just couldn't finagle ourselves to get another interview lined up. In my defense, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you a sob story, but in my defense, my son was in hospital with pneumonia from Monday to Thursday and then quite sick after that. So my week was just, it's one of those weeks where I just was basically in the washing machine. So that's the excuse. But what am I doing to fix this problem? I had some, if you didn't know already, I used to run a podcast when I was living in Shanghai called Stuck in the Middle. And there's some great stuff in there. So I went back into the vault and found an interview that I did with Mohammed. It was one of the first interviews I've ever done. I mean, I've done hundreds and hundreds of podcasts. This was maybe the 6th or 7th I'd ever done. I didn't really know Mohammed that well at that point. And his backstory, the reason he's in China, is absolutely phenomenal. Fleeing the political strife in Egypt. It's such a crazy story. So check it out. But before we get into it, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, hit it. It's the best way to get the next episodes straight into your phone or wherever else. Also, and you already know it, but every Thursday we do bonus episodes on Patreon, and they're great. They're amazing. So check out patreon.com/HoHoPod. Oh, and one more thing while I'm going to mention it. So basically shows are back on in Hong Kong. Mohammed and I have launched a comedy brand called Backstage Comedy, and we've got tons of amazing shows coming up, including I will be headlining on the 15th of May at the Hub in Wan Chai. Vivek is going to be headlining the 22nd of May. So check that out. If you want to get tickets, you can go to ticketflap.com. They're all over that website, and that's it. So let's get into that interview with Mohammed because it is a good one. Okay, we're sitting here in Ely Massage on Changmalu, dude. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Dude, this place is great.
Yeah, it's my first time here. You come here often?
I've been here before.
All right. Let's put it this way. Okay.
Do they have massages in Egypt?
Well, it's a very fancy thing. It's not really here.
So do you get massages in Egypt?
No, never. Never got one. Not paid ones.
Ooh. How long have you been in China for?
3.5 years now. I came February 2012.
Really? I didn't realize you'd been here that long. I didn't meet you for because you weren't in Shanghai, right? Changchun. So you went from Cairo to...
Yeah, I went to Cairo, from Cairo to Dubai for a while. I stayed there for a short time.
By the way, if we sound really awkward right now, it's because we're both getting jabbed in.
Yeah. She's really strong, by the way. Yeah. See, that's something I like about here. This is not this is a very professional thing, not sexual at all. If I try to explain this to my friends at home, it's I'm just sitting chatting with my friend while getting massaged by a girl, and everyone will be like, wow.
It's a little
crazy.
Sexual.
Okay. I don't know. I don't feel anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I can't see anything either. So, moving on.
So you went to, what is the name of the place you went to?
Changchun. It's the capital of Jilin province.
How the hell did you end up there?
I just wanted to leave Egypt for a while because it was getting a bit too much. It was getting hectic. And then I'm like, so, what's up? And then one of my friends, he said, oh, there's jobs. They want people to teach English, and they can't afford native English speakers, so they just get people who speak good English from other countries. And I said, where are these places? He said, well, now there's Ukraine and there's China. Which one do you pick? I said,
that's amazing.
Yeah. And I was like,
I need to get out of Cairo because it's a little hectic. Maybe I should go to Ukraine.
Yeah, when it's there's nothing going on. At the time, there was nothing, actually.
Yeah,
it was still, yeah.
There is now.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, well, actually, I didn't care that much, to be fair. It wasn't even I looked at both offers because it was from the same, one of those sketchy agencies. And I said, well, I'm not going to go, get like kidnapped or whatever. Well, maybe I might, but
Yet.
yeah. So I just looked at it like the offer from China was better because it was more money and it was teaching adults, and I can't deal with children at all. So I'm like, okay, I'll just take the offer from China.
Why do you speak such good English?
Actually, I don't know if, like, okay, so I went to something called an experimental school. It's like a language school. It's a public school, but it has this program where we study Arabic and English pretty much at the same level. So all my life, the sciences like math, biology, chemistry, physics, were always in English. And it's funny because until now, I'm 25 and I can't do math in Arabic because I never learned it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So and then from middle school, we also study French or like a third language, which is normally French.
So you speak French as well?
I do speak French, yeah.
Anything else you want to throw in there?
No, you know how bad my Chinese is, so that's the...
It's okay. But Arabic is kind of... Because you have a joke about how Egyptian's not a language.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Mitch, who's like a language nut, is like, actually, it is.
No, it's not.
Well,
I think he is talking about like Egyptian dialect. Probably. Because the Arabic... Yeah, like... In his defense, yes, if you are in the Middle East and people be like, oh, you're speaking Egyptian if you're talking to someone from Lebanon. But we all are speaking the language that is Arabic. It's just the dialect has different names because it depends on the region.
How similar are they?
They're, okay, so Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, no one understands them.
You don't understand them?
I understand them a bit because I speak French. They have this like fucked up mix of Arabic, French, Amazigh, which is like a sub-Saharan language. They just mix all together, and no anyone understand them. The thing is, everyone in the Middle East understands the Egyptian dialect because
it's superior, right?
It's not exactly superior. It's just like our movies and our TV and whatever is the most popular one in the Middle East.
Oh, Egypt has its own like Hollywood?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I'm obsessed with this now. Are there are there like handsome James Dean style stars?
They are mostly belly dancers.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what's it like living in Cairo? Like, just walk me around. It's an old city, right? Traffic's bad. How tall are the buildings?
Okay, so Cairo, actually Tahrir Square, where like most of the activities during the trouble time was there.
That was the greatest use of euphemisms ever. Most of the activities during the bad time.
Trouble times.
During the slightly challenging period.
Yep. So most Tahrir Square
Dude, I'm getting my neck ripped off.
Mine too.
Great.
And I don't know if we sound like really weird.
I want to listen to this again because it'd be like, anyway, so what part of Cairo did you live in?
Yeah. So actually, that place is like one of the financial hubs of the city, like where a lot of ministries and a lot of like big hotels and whatever. Tahrir Square, actually, a lot of people don't know that. Right by Tahrir Square, there is a huge Hilton hotel. It's really big. It's called Ramses Hilton. It's really expensive and it's right in the middle of Tahrir Square. So
Paris Hilton's family has just put their stamp in the middle of your beautiful ancient city.
Yeah, man. It sucks. It really sucks because like I come from Giza, which is where the pyramids are.
Pyramids of Giza.
Yeah,
I know that.
exactly.
I watched the movie The Mummy.
Yeah, exactly. I was there too. So I like.
You kind of look a little bit like Brendan Fraser if I had to.
God damn it. You had to bring this up, huh?
You get that a lot, do you?
I do. I also get the bad guy from Drew's joke.
True Lies.
True Lies.
No, you look way more like the bad guy from True Lies.
I looked him up. I keep forgetting his name though.
You see him every day in the mirror, right?
Yeah. Now it's okay because my hair is like too long and it's tied up.
So just like I want to understand what does it look like? I know that traffic's like a big thing.
Yeah,
it's a hectic city. Is it similar to China in ways, or
that's the thing? People, I think exaggerate when they like bash like China's traffic or whatever. Because if you really want to see bad traffic, you gotta go to Cairo.
Oh, so you reckon that Shanghai's got nothing on Cairo?
Oh no. Shanghai is like Europe for comparison with Cairo.
Wow.
Because first of all, people here respect the traffic lights. Not all of them, but at least the cars. Let's agree on this one.
Some traffic lights.
Most of traffic lights in Shanghai, like the big intersections or whatever. Traffic lights in Egypt are actually suggestions. They're not. You don't exactly have to stop. You can just be okay. Cool story, bro, and you just move. You just move on.
That's my favorite Muhammad expression. Cool story, bro.
Yeah. I can see that red light, but at the same time, I gotta pick up my mother-in-law.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
And it's a hectic place to walk around?
Yeah, there are a couple of things that
because
only
there
locals
are
would
lots
know.
of old buildings, right? And
Yeah,
the
there are a lot of
pyramid,
old
the pyramids
buildings.
are at the edge of Giza, or
Yeah, at the edge of Giza, but at the same time they're building because the city is expanding massively. So beyond the pyramids towards like Alexandria, like between Cairo and Alexandria, kind of, we call it the desert road between Cairo and Alexandria. And on that road, there are like huge new compounds of cities. Pretty much like 6th of October is one of them. Another one called Sheikh Zayed, who
it's
is
called
like
6th of October.
yeah, 6th of October is the like our national day of like the victory over taking Sinai back. It's the
Wow.
war with Israel, 1973.
And you
It's a
just
huge
named a
day.
city after a date.
Of course, yeah. It's like the biggest day in the history of modern Egypt.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's the war with Israel taking Sinai back. So they took it in 1967, took it back in 1973, and yeah.
They didn't have a city for that second day, did they?
Yeah.
They did.
No, for the second day,
Yeah.
no. We call it Yom Naksa, which means like I don't know how to translate that in. It's like
Is it like that's Egyptian for shit?
pretty much.
Damn it.
Yeah, damn it, day.
It's the Egyptian for hey, that's ours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, give that back.
I was actually thinking, why don't, like, you know how Chinese sometimes they skip some like 1 2 3 because the number 4 sounds like death and they don't have it on elevators or whatever.
Yeah.
We should skip, like, that day is the 5th of June in Egypt, and maybe they should skip it in the Egyptian calendar.
And just every year, the Egyptians will be one day ahead of the rest of the
Yeah,
world.
exactly.
One more day ahead of the rest of the
It's
world.
brilliant, right?
Is Cairo? Is it a stressful place to live?
Yeah, it's very stressful. First of all, you need to know, going back to your question about like how is it life living there, it really depends on what you're doing, as in like what's your family doing, like how well off you are and all this.
Oh, that doesn't sound like every other city on earth.
In Cairo, it's pretty more obvious.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, first of all, if you take the bus, as in like you don't have a car or you can't afford taxis or whatever. If you take the bus, this is one of the experiences that are really crazy because the buses don't stop literally. When I told this a bunch of people, no one believed me because no one has been there. The buses don't exactly have bus stops. You just wave to the bus in the middle of the street. He slows down, you hop on.
It's like that movie High School High.
I haven't watched that movie.
Hey, if I start laughing at any point, it's because my feet are getting tickled.
Yeah, I'm waiting for mine. I don't know what is she up to. I hope she's not like.
She's doing a bathroom.
Yeah.
She's going to report to the government that there are 2 foreigners using microphones.
No, well, that's better than like. I hope she's not like disinfecting her hand. My feet are hairy, but they're quite clean.
That's great.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, the buses. Like this is actually something, because imagine this. Like as I said, like the buses, you wait for them. They just
are they
slow
old
down.
buses?
Yeah, most of them are old. Even the new ones with like air conditioner and everything. It's just like a very cultural thing that no one stops for buses. That's it. That's how it is. And on the other hand, if you want to get off the bus, it's the same. You just yell at the driver, tell him, hey, that's my stop. I want to get off here. And he slows down from 50 kilometers to 20 kilometers. You get off. And you know, if you're not an expert, you will get off and fall because you gotta jump with the direction of the bus. If you jump and stop,
I don't know if you're joking anymore.
I am not joking. I'm telling you something that is really serious.
Why
Maybe
do-
one day you'll take a bus on Cairo.
I wanted to try.
you would listen to this.
Dude,
and
I
then-
will eat shit. I'll jump in the wrong direction. I'll go under the wheel.
and that's it. And people will get this recording. It's like fucking Muhammad told them to do this.
And the guy said run in the direction of the bus.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Also, if you jump and stop, you're also like obviously physics laws. If you just jump and stop, you're
How many bus disembarkation injuries are happened every year?
None. People are
Why
experts
don't they stop?
because no one gives a fuck. Just like this is how, because if he stops, he's gonna lose like 2 seconds, and people's time is obviously precious. So
Yeah, but aren't their legs precious as well?
as I told you, people are experts on that. People have been taking this bus. They have been jumping off school buses when they were like 10. So by the time they're 40 and they're government employees going to the work, they're experts.
And so you were living there during the quote unquote,
Mm.
let's say, difficult period.
Yeah.
Was like because Mubarak was in control for decades, right?
Yeah. 30 years.
So what was your take on him for the previous 2 decades?
Well, I was mostly young, doing my own thing.
You didn't think about it.
I didn't think about it that much, but actually before these times, I used to think about it more because there was trouble going on in the country, as in like there were protests. People didn't do that before, and I was adult enough to know like people don't like something. There's something wrong with this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these guys are not happy about
Yeah,
it. I'm not an expert here, but
Yeah.
they look a little frustrated.
Exactly. They don't seem so happy with this guy. I wonder why. And then after this, I started reading into it, and I'm like,
How old are you at this point?
2021, yeah, 2021 maybe. And I started reading about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they're just a gang of thieves, just like a family of thieves.
That was your conclusion.
That was my conclusion. Just like it's a whole big gang, and it's connected to everything. Like,
are people spreading that as a message online?
no, at the time that
This is
social
your
media was-
personal conclusion.
Yeah, this is my personal conclusion. Like that was even before the difficult times. Is that
Just so you know, Mohammed made quotation marks in the air when he said that.
yeah, true. And yeah, and I was like, wow, they're really connected as well. There is no way people can fight against this. And that was the end of it. That was my conclusions. Like, okay, people are unhappy. Those guys are way too strong, and that's the end of it. I'll just move on with my life.
Oh, wait a second. I thought you were saying that the protesters were the gang of thieves.
No.
Right.
No.
Oh, I misunderstood you.
No, I'm talking about the people in power at the time are a gang
Right.
of thieves.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I said they're way too strong for people to do anything.
So
And
there was a sense of hopelessness.
Exactly. So that was like maybe 2009, 2010. I was exactly 21 in 2009 and 20 actually.
Dude,
2000
I was here.
What were you doing here?
Not a lot. I certainly wasn't having thoughtful conclusions about important matters around the world.
Tell me about your time when you first came.
No. This isn't about me.
Just like you started KFK in 2010.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, just like because
It was 2011 maybe.
Yeah, because this guy from the other day came to our club, and he from Global what is it called? Global Daily or something?
Oh, the Global Times.
Global Times, and he said he's covering our open mic, and I said cool. But then I went on Global Times and I looked up.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, he did that. Like not him, but they did a report on your open mic and what is it called? Beehives or whatever. The
BDs.
BDs in 2011. And it's really funny because they quoted one of Schaefer's jokes that he's doing until now.
Did they really?
Yeah.
What was it, the Taobao joke?
The Taobao joke.
That's
And I
hilarious.
just cracked up in the office. We were like, look at the fuck. Because at the time he had
Busted. Yeah.
exactly. He had a girlfriend. And apparently he brought her on stage. I don't know why he did that. Like at the time. Maybe
really?
because you're all just starting. And apparently Audrey had like PowerPoint presentations or something.
That wasn't his girlfriend.
Ah, that wasn't his girlfriend.
No, that
Whoops.
was somebody else's.
I mean, and he just used her for the joke. Like, this is my girlfriend.
No. She was on the stage playing piano for Audrey's.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What was Audrey doing? I saw Audrey when she was like doing really well, just doing like proper stand up. What was she doing with the?
Oh, dude, she was
presentation?
killing back then. That was it was really good. But let's go back to this because
Okay.
we're getting really sidetracked here.
Yeah.
So Mubarak is this immovable force, and then something changed, right?
Yeah, something
What happened?
changed.
Tunisia went down. and you
Tunisia
were
went
like,
down. Yeah.
Like, hang on a minute.
Yeah. That's possible because the guy in
So
Tunisia
that's
was
what
not-
changed.
Yeah. That's what triggered it. Like that's what gave people hope. Let's say, what really triggered it was something really kind of trivial in a way, and not really a big thing. Like I mean, it's huge and it's sad, but at the same time, people didn't think about it that much, and not a lot of people knew about it. But then it's the power of social media that really put it all together. So there was this guy called Khalid Saeed in Alexandria, and he was killed by police brutality 2010 or 2009. And then he was just like, he was dragged out of an internet cafe, beaten to death pretty much, and he was just left there. And then they said after this, of course, they said, oh, he had drugs or whatever. He swallowed a bag of, like a small plastic bag of weed or whatever, and then the official autopsy reports showed that. And people were furious because everyone knew what happened to this guy. And that was like happened, and people were kind of angry at this time. And then there is a guy who created a Facebook page, because 25th of January, which is the start of trouble, is there's a guy who created a Facebook page. So 25th of January is the police day, the police celebration day, like memorial. I don't know what do you call it. Like, you know, like there's an army day, there's whatever day, there's police day. Just you celebrate the policemen. Before 2011, people used to actually say happy anniversary to the police people. I don't know what's anniversary or whatever. Like it was like a.
How do you say that in Arabic?
Kul sana wa tayyib, which we use for everything.
That's
like
great.
Birthday or Ramadan or.
You're like,
you have
happy
a baby.
birthday, cop day, military day.
Exactly. So, 25th. So the guys created a Facebook page, and it attracted hundreds of thousands of people. He said 25th of January it is the police day, and we're gonna show them, not like in like aggressive, you know, way or whatever, but we're gonna like celebrate them in our way after. And he called it Kullina Khalid Saeed. We're all Khalid Saeed. We're all that guy who died.
Oh, that's his name.
That's his name, Khalid Saeed.
Yeah, I'm having trouble remembering the Arabic words.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. We always sound like we're spitting and yelling at each other the whole time, but some of us are nice.
Now I just assume you're talking. Actually, there's a few guys in Shanghai who seem to be able to speak Arabic fluently.
By the way, she's doing a good job. She's not tickling at all, even though my feet are like really tickly. They're really ticklish.
Dude, I can't have people touching my feet. These guys are pros.
Oh yeah, she's really good. Yeah, so.
你们做得非常好.
Yeah, so that was the start of it. People hit the streets.
Was there a sense that it was violent, or is there a sense that they were actively non-violent?
No, in the beginning it was like non-violent. It was actually pretty agreed on that violence would be kind of unnecessary, and at the same time it will like defeat the cause, you know. You just want to go there, do a peaceful protest and attract as many people as you can and get attention. But from 25th to 28th that was the case. And then 28th the police kind of lost it. They just started like killing people, shooting at people, like, you know, it went crazy because also the numbers kind of went out of control. Like people started hitting the streets. And there were like literally more than 1 million people at the same time.
My God, what's the population?
What?
What's the population?
Of the whole country?
Of Cairo?
Cairo's around 20. We have something called the Greater Cairo, which is Cairo, Giza, and another governorate. And the three of them together are around 25 to 30 million people.
So you're talking about a serious percentage of the population.
Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, after the 28th, police just kind of lost it. And this is when people are like, okay, yeah, there is shit going down.
So when did you start caring?
I started care. I went on the 25th.
So you went from like the gun.
I was there from the beginning. And
why did you care? You felt like a sense of injustice?
Yeah, exactly. I felt a sense of injustice, and I just want to be part of it. And I didn't know it's gonna like make history. It just felt right. And I didn't really like.
Were you upset, or was it like, were you like, I have to do this, or were you just like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna do it?
Yeah, it was. I can't lie. Like I wasn't like I can't pretend like, yes, this is my cause. It wasn't like this in the beginning.
You just felt like it was something that you should go to.
Exactly. Yeah, I just want to be part of it, and I knew it's not gonna be a big deal because of how strong they are. I had the sense of hopelessness was still there, even though I knew Tunisia. I mean, I'm talking about a personal level. Maybe other people are like, okay, we're gonna do it like Tunisia.
Did you feel that? Was there any sense that it might go badly? I mean, if I was in a country, you know, let's say a random and unnamed country, and this kind of thing was really, really banned.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be concerned about being a face there.
I can't deny that the thought crossed my mind, but at the same time, when I hit the streets and I saw like hundreds of thousands of people, I felt safe.
That's what made you safe.
Yeah, that's what made me safe. There are other people. No one is like no one. It seemed like no one had bad intentions or whatever. And even that at the time, the police didn't really care that much, because actually Mubarak has a famous quote. It's in Arabic. He said once, long time ago, someone was telling him something. I don't even remember what was the whole situation or what was the conversation about, but someone quoted him saying, "خليهم يتسلوا," which means like let them play. That long time ago. So that's how they handled most of the situations like this.
That came back to bite him in the ass.
Exactly.
He's like, now he's like, well,
Well,
maybe I shouldn't have let them play. Maybe my famous quote should have been, "Don't let them play."
well, actually, so now since then we had 3 presidents. Like there was an interim president. No one cares about this guy. So there is like Mubarak.
Who's that, Morsi?
No. Morsi is like the.
No, that's the guy
Muslim-
now, Sisi or whatever.
Yeah, now it's Sisi. Before that was Morsi, and before that was Mubarak.
Although, yeah, I got them all.
Yeah, you got them all. But
Come
there
on,
was
I read-
another like really
I
old.
read Facebook posts.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's like news now. I read Facebook. I'm smart.
Yeah, right. I like things.
Yeah, so so people quote the 3 of them, Mubarak, Morsi, and Sisi. And so Mubarak says "خليهم يتسالوا," which means let them play. And Morsi, because Morsi used to ignore people's people's demands or people's like comments or whatever. So Morsi, and it's also rhymes in Arabic. Morsi says "خليهم يتشلوا," which means let them like get paralyzed, as in like you just like ignore someone until they go like into
Right.
limbo or something.
Right, yeah.
But it's also and then
But
Sisi
this is hilarious in Arabic.
it's so funny. It really is hilarious in Arabic, because Sisi, people quote him because now Sisi is just like killing everyone who's like against him, just like putting them in jail or whatever.
Still.
Oh yeah.
What power does he have now?
Well, I don't know if I want to do that, and like I want to go back to my country at some point.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm joking. Actually, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, like so Mubarak says "خليهم يتسالوا," which means let them play. Morsi says "خليهم يتشلوا," let them go in limbo. And then someone quoted, it's like one of those Facebook memes. And then Sisi says, "Why let them do anything?"
Yeah.
So in Arabic it says "خليهم ليه أصلا." It's like why would you let them do anything?
My
Which
God.
is like a reference, is like I would just take them, like, put them away or something.
And so, what was that feeling like when you realized that it had become something much bigger?
It was crazy. It was really crazy, because I remember the day very well. I went there every day from 25th to 28th, and 28th is like when shit really went that bad. And I was in Tahrir Square at this time, and I inhaled too much tear gas, so I was feeling really sick. So I just walked home. By the way, like at the time, all the infrastructure, as in like public transportation, everything was like stopped, and it was kind of crazy. So
Were people going to work?
Yeah, I think some people did. I mean, I did because I was working for a private company, and they provided like transportation, like shuttle buses, and not to Tahrir Square, but like to home or like somewhere close. And I just get off and walk. I remember this day very well because I went home, walked for a really long time from Tahrir Square to my place in Giza, which is like more than an hour walk. And then I get there, I'm really tired, turn on the TV, and I see a battle exactly where I was an hour ago. And
Like shit's gone down
it's
since you left.
live. Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah, when I left, I told you, there was just tear gas, which is like nothing. It's just like,
tear gas is like nothing.
yeah, it's nothing. They're just, it's kind of let them play. They're just messing together. Like, there was no like bird shots, there was no live ammo, there was nothing like this. I turned on the TV, and there is shit like this. People making Molotov cocktails, throwing them, cars burning and shit. I'm like, holy fuck. This is like, I was there, And this is when I knew this is not going to end well. Well, it did, but I at the time, there will be an outcome of this that is like...
You knew it had become something else.
Exactly. It will become something else. It's not going to be like, let them play and then that's it. So, yeah, that's it.
And did you continue to go out there after that, or that was it for you?
No, I did. I went after this a couple of times. I was, to be honest, like part of it is that I was afraid, obviously.
How scared were you? Were you lying awake in bed at night, or like what was your dominant emotion?
I was.
It must have been conflicting
See,
emotions.
this is actually pretty interesting because my original plan was that okay, I'm gonna stay home to obviously for my life, and
You were like, if I go out, I could die.
of course, people were dying. We can see the numbers. People are just turned to numbers on TV. People are like, oh yeah, 200 people died today.
Do you know anyone?
I knew a couple of people, yeah, like not exactly like close friends, but I knew people who died there. Yeah,
And then what does that feel like?
it's strange because the first thought that you get when something like this happens, like this could have been me, and then you start reflecting on your own life, like if this had been me, and I felt like it would be kind of selfish if that happens to me because my mom would be devastated. I don't want to do that to her, so
To put yourself in a position of risk.
yeah. That's the first thing I thought of when that happened. Like when I saw a name that I know, I put myself. I'm like, oh, this could have easily been me. And then the first thing popped in my mind was my mom. I'm like, she won't take it. Like she won't accept anything. She will be devastated. And I felt that's kind of selfish. It's like if this is my cause against this, no, I will choose this. You know.
Were you angry?
That's the thing. So I was telling you, like, my original plan after I knew, like, this is not going to end well, is that I'm going to stay at home, follow it on TV and on social media. They did something really stupid. They as in, like, the government and the system. Because they realized the power of social media, so they cut it off. They cut down all the communication of the whole internet in the whole country went down. And then I was like, fuck, I can't know what is going on. I have to go back to the street because I want to know what's going on. So
Even the TV's not working.
The TV was Al Jazeera, which is, very controversial when it comes to their coverage.
That's weird because Al Jazeera, in my understanding it, from like a Western point of view, is pretty decent coverage compared to everything else, right?
They do very decent coverage when it comes to events that they don't exactly have interest in, as in like they don't have an agenda behind it. So they did an amazing coverage. I don't know if you've seen that or not. Al Jazeera English, they did an amazing coverage called Red Stripes of Beijing, and they covered all those migrant workers who live underground in Beijing in like shitty conditions.
Okay, let's not get too far into that.
Yeah, no, it's actually it's out there. I mean, it's not exactly against anything. It's just covering like the poor, like the conditions of migrant workers. It's like it's not exactly political even. It's really really good. It's amazing, especially that it's Al Jazeera, which is a Qatari.
But in Cairo, they weren't doing that.
In the Middle East, in general, they wouldn't do that.
In the Middle East, they don't do
Yeah.
it.
And that's the fucked up part, because a lot of people, the Western people, Al Jazeera caters news to the rest of the world from the Middle East. So if you are working for whatever news outlet in the West and you want a reliable source, you always go to Al Jazeera. So you'll get whatever they cater to you. And you don't have other sources anyway.
So you went back into the street.
Because I don't trust Al Jazeera. I don't trust, obviously, that I can tell you like hours of hilarious stories from like the national TV, how it was like focused. So people, of course, because people can't just ignore, like national TV can't just ignore this. But at the same time, they're pro the government. So they have like a camera on Tahrir Square, and they write like Tahrir Square, but they have the camera on the Nile, just like the calm Nile. It's like that's Tahrir Square. And you can hear it because there is a microphone. You can hear gunshots in the background of the TV, but at the same time you can just see the Nile flowing nicely.
Oh my god!
It's fucking hilarious. So of course you have Al Jazeera. Normally I would depend on social media, but it's cut off. So their strategy of cutting off social media, thinking that it will break the communication between us, it backfired because everyone went to the street to know what is going on.
Also, do you know why that's stupid? Do you know how much free time you give young people if you take Facebook away from them?
Yep.
Everyone's like, shit, I have 8 hours free a day now that
now that I stopped playing Candy Crush for 5 hours.
Dude, I'm like, I'm off Instagram. I gotta go do something. I gotta find a hobby.
Yeah, I gotta throw some Molotov cocktails.
So you go out there, and were you trying to stay on the edge of things?
No, actually, when I went out there, I'm like, fuck it. I did this a couple of times. I was really deep into the thing, and I was like, I wouldn't say front lines because there were like other heroes there, but I was like pretty involved.
So you went from I don't want my mom to have to deal with this to like man, I'm going down.
Yeah, when you are there, you can't just be one of those spectators and on the side. Not that people will call you a pussy or anything. It's just like you feel like no, it's unfair. Like
You have a sense of injustice.
yeah, yeah. When you are there, you get that, and I can't even describe it. It's just like it happens when you're there. It's weird.
And you're mad or what?
You you get really angry. You're mad. You feel like this is the one chance that, like I was telling you, like before this all happened, like I was kind of ignorant and isn't like I don't know what's going on in the country. But it seems like I wasn't ignorant. It was just like building up without even me knowing.
Your frustration.
I was frustrating. Exactly. I was frustrated the whole time. And I was just all coming out. It's like, okay, this is the one chance. I can do that now. Whatever the outcome is, I will just express myself. Which is something else that is like the whole freedom of expression thing in Egypt is like obviously most of the Middle East there is none. Like pretty much none. Don't exist. So and it's also a cultural thing because people in Egypt, and most like people in China as well, parents especially, they want their children to be all the same. Like everyone's like, I want to. In Egypt, it's like if you don't grow up to be a doctor or like a judge or whatever, and then you're a loser. That's it. You know. So there is no. I wanted to be something else. I wanted to be a comedian, and I didn't share this dream with anyone ever, including my friends. No one would understand me.
Even then, you wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah.
That's great. And so something else happened though, because you went out there like, this is where I need to be. And then you were like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah. See, between that, a lot changed in my life and in my family, and there are a couple of things. So that was January 2011, so the start of trouble, quote, and until I left February 2012. So for a whole year.
So 13 months.
13 months. There is a lot that changed. I was involved most of the time in the streets. So after Mubarak left, there was the military council, who are ironically back in power now. So at the time, we're fighting against them because they're worse than Mubarak. So we found out that they're protecting Mubarak in a way. Like the only way they got to protect him is to kick him out, you know? So they can stay in power. So I was involved pretty much for the whole year. But then a couple of things happened in my personal life and then my family. And then there was also a sense of frustration. I can't deny that. I'm like, this is hopeless. Yeah, like I admit it to myself as well. It's like part of the reason I left is that I kind of gave up on this, you know. I know people, as I mentioned earlier. I know people who died. I know people who during that time, not just during the revolution. I know people, my foreign friends. I know a couple of them who got deported because they're just there at the wrong place at the wrong time. Just like they lost their studies, they lost their jobs, they just left. And it was so unfair. I'm like, I don't know. Like if that happens to me when I'm that young, first of all, if you get like, I think that's everywhere in the world. If you go to jail or whatever, if you have a record, you're fucked.
You're in a lot of trouble.
For the rest of your life as
You
well.
can't travel.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get a job.
Exactly. All of this stuff. So I'm like, well, I'm going to take a break for a year and see how that goes. I came here and I loved it, so I just stayed.
And looking back, do you still feel like it's hopeless?
Now, yes. Now, it's really bad. There is no, like, the security is pretty good. I have to give them that. But at the same time, politically speaking, the frustration of people. I talk to, obviously, a lot of my friends who are in my age. And back then, when I left, I was like, China. What the fuck are you going to do in China? Just go wherever. Or just stay here.
Like not get shot?
Yeah. No, I didn't even say all of that. I'm like, it's a new place. I wouldn't even say exciting. I just didn't know anything. And I'm like, it's a new place. I'll just go take a break for a year. I'll just travel in Asia, whatever. Now, I can show you messages on my Facebook, people telling me, you were right. Can you please get us out of here? Which is sad. I don't even feel like, yes, I was right. No, I feel really sad. It's bad, like, you know. Because I went kind of by chance. I just taking my chances. Those people are stuck there now. I don't know if you heard about like all those like boats, like the illegal migrants who just like travel from like the Mediterranean, Libya or Egypt or Alexandria.
I mean, yeah, it's a big problem now.
Yeah, exactly. So some of these guys are Egyptian, you know, and they just die in the Mediterranean because they're trying to get the fuck out of the country.
So what do you hope will happen?
I hope for a miracle, which is not gonna happen. Like,
Because you have two brothers and you're all out of there.
yeah, we're all out of there, exactly. So yeah, you met one of them too, and he's traveling all over the world. And the other one will go back soon, actually, but just to finish his studies, and then he's planning to leave as well.
He's like Japanified.
Yeah, exactly. He's.
I want to
there.
meet that brother. I love your oldest brother.
Yeah. I'll probably go meet him in August or something. You can come. We can do shows there. That would be cool.
That would be great.
Yeah. So, yeah, as I said, like people are just really frustrated. The young people, just most of them are either hopeless or just pretending to be happy, which I know because I grew up with these people and I know how they think. And it doesn't take a smart ass to look at their posts or their pictures like, yeah, they're pretending. You know. This massage is great.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm
Again,
like,
see, this is
I'm
one
like
of-
on the one hand, I'm like hearing this tragic story,
Yeah.
and it's like weighing my heart down.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, I'm like, man, my feet feel amazing.
See, this is one of the things. Like, I was telling you, like, I came here for my original plan was for a year, but then I never really lived abroad. I traveled a couple of times before coming to China, like just for holiday. And this was my first time living abroad somewhere, and there are those freedoms, you know. I'm not talking even about like going crazy. Like, I don't really do much anyway, you know. It's just that
Being able to have a scooter.
yeah, yeah, stuff like this. Like at home, you're very limited to things. Like you can't bring a friend who's a girl home, just a friend like who's 10 years older than you or whatever.
To your family house or to
No,
your
my-
apartment?
Like even if it's if your family's okay, the neighbors or the doorman will not be okay.
But what about if it's just your one-bedroom apartment?
Oh, that's like impossible.
Really?
The doorman would literally call the police on you.
And what are they going to do? They're like, hey,
Hey,
Hey.
who is this? What is your relationship to her?
I mean, I have to say, in their defense, that's kind of very progressive in the sense that they treat heterosexuals the same way they treat homosexuals.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, we're like already
They're
like
like,
ahead
hey,
of everyone.
guy, we don't support men being attracted to women. That's disgusting.
Yeah, we're ahead of everyone. This is where you will be like in the next 50 years.
Oh, I got that to look forward to.
Yeah, I've been in Australia. You're getting there.
Oh, they'll let you do anything there.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. See, like there's those freedoms, as I said. Like you just can't do anything. People are always. It's like everyone is spying on each other in a way, even though they're really not. But it's just like deep into the culture that everyone is suspicious to what is going on, especially with the whole the whole men-women thing. And it got me frustrated because, like, you know, I'm young, I have friends, I have girlfriends, whatever. Like, it's hard.
What was the scariest thing? Like, can you tell me like a story or a moment during that whole experience? What was the scariest part for you?
Well, actually, one of the scariest parts, it's kind of funny in a way. It's like dark funny, but I'll tell you anyway because, so I was on the subway once, and I had like long hair like this now, and it was tied up as well, like tied like this, and I was on subway at like 7 a.m. I was wearing shorts, and for people in Egypt, that's not a normal look for like a normal Egyptian guy. Like as I told you earlier, people should look the same, and even my dad, who's a police officer, he hated my hair. He's always telling me, cut your hair. People will think you're gay. People will think you are, you know, you're sissy. And it was really annoying.
You're like, I don't care if they think I'm gay. I can't have a woman home.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the negative consequence here?
Yeah, nothing. They'll just confirm what they already think.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. Hey, that guy looks like he doesn't sleep with women.
That's totally true.
You're like, I don't.
Yeah. So I was on subway. It was like 7 or 8 a.m. I was going to my French course, and I was drinking. One of those like a power drink, not really a power drink. It's like a fizzy, like the vitamin drinks that you see them, and they're like colored, right?
Yep.
I was drinking. It was blue. It was a blue liquid in the bottle. So I was standing on the subway listening to music, and then I was drinking this drink, and the guy behind me, he was like, "Hey, what is this? What are you drinking?" I don't know this guy, obviously, and for some reason I'm like, "Come on, it's 8 a.m." I didn't say anything. I just ignored him because I can hear him over my music. And then the person next to him, he's like, "Oh, don't talk to him. He's a foreigner. He obviously looks like a foreigner because of my hair and the shorts, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, and I just like lowered the volume. I just want to hear, but at the same time, because I have the earphones, they think I can't hear them. So just having this conversation. He's a foreigner. So what? The other guy. What is he drinking? I don't know. Alcohol? Yeah, of course foreigners can drink alcohol on the subway while I got fined £10 for smoking cigarette. This is bullshit. And the whole car all of a sudden is like la 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 la. It's like a whole conversation of 50 people yelling and screaming at me.
At this foreigner.
At this foreigner, exactly. So I'm like, I wouldn't really want to laugh because it's funny, but at the same time, if I laugh, they will know that I understand I am fucked. So I'm like, what the fuck? And then there is like a woman in the whole other side. Those foreigners are behind this hard times. They are the ones who started it. They come to our country and they talk to the young people. They brainwash them. Let's kick him out.
You're joking.
I swear to God, I almost died this day. The subway opens and I run out. Because I was standing calm and they knew I understood when I just started running. And a few people chased me and I just ran out and I just got in another car, which happens to be the women's car because we have 2 cars in every...
Oh, the men and the women can't be in the same car?
No, there are 2... All cars are mixed except 2 of them that are only women. If you're a woman who doesn't want to be mixed with men, you can go into these cars.
That sounds like a great car.
Yeah, so I hop in there, women start yelling at me and I just like got my... But like, you know, they know I look like a foreigner. So they started yelling at me and a girl told me in English, this is like women's car. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm a foreigner. I don't know that.
This is amazing.
Yeah. And she was like, okay, just get off the next one and change cars. I'm like, okay. Because in our metro, there is no, you can't, not like here, the doors, there are no doors between cars. Like if you're in one car, you can't switch until you get off the platform. So she's like, okay, welcome to Egypt. And I'm like, thank you. And that was the end of the conversation. So it was like from one like near-death experience in one car to like women who are being really nice and very welcoming to this foreigner who they know went into the car by accident. But they would kick the shit out like of an Egyptian man who actually walks into their car.